Hang on. We've already done that. Yes, you're not wrong. We have already done that intro video, but today we are diving deeper into the Whisper Syndicate. We are going into and more in depth on Percival, the lead broker. Let's do it. So, what do we got? Percival is the unofficial leader of the Whisper Ledger Syndicate, possibly the most untrustworthy dude in the entire galaxy. Mr. Pendervick, purely out to progress his own agendas, manipulating the players of the Progenitor's Gambit and even the people of the worlds they ravage. All in an attempt to pervert the results and profit from the chaos. Because in Percival's world, knowledge and money talk. Now, we've seen Mr. Pendervick appear a few different scenarios across the Cosmic Conquest comics storyline. So far, he's had dealings with our protagonist, Clarity, and his right-hand man, Marcus, as well as appearing alongside the Syndicate in several scenes. A group we, as you are probably aware, we did in our last video. And in a weird turn of events, both of the two contenders we've now looked at are part of the Syndicate. So, the Syndicate against Percival Pendervick. Is he beating himself off? Is he beating himself down? Beating himself off. He's fighting himself, looking in the mirror and shadowboxing. So with all that said, let's get into the real reason we're here and start looking at this new contender. Right, let's get into this then. I like this one. First thing I always look at is the health and start line. 30 health, 1 attack, 0 defense contender. Fairly common among Alpha Clash contenders. He's green. He's got the Sentinel role. His affiliations are where things get a bit strange. First contender I can think of has got 2 affiliations. Mr. Pendervick has affiliated with dragons, who wouldn't want to be affiliated with dragons, and progenitors. So, having both is going to open up some additional synergies with cards that may not have been possible if he only had one of them. So, starting the game at 30 health, you get access to this first ability. And it reads, whenever an effect you control gives control of a card to an opposing player or puts a card into play under an opposing player's control, ready a resource you control. And then action, target opposing player creates an illicit goods. So, first off, we don't know what illicit goods are going to do yet. So, but these are clearly going to work hand in hand, the same ability essentially. You use the action to create illicit goods under your opponent's control, which then gives you the opportunity to ready a previously used resource. I presume illicit goods is going to be some kind of token, relic, accessory card, but until I think probably upon release we're not going to know exactly, so this is very much speculation, and I think only then we're going to find out how powerful this can or won't be. It also looks like it's not going to be the only way to trigger this ability, so the wording suggests there's going to be other cards that have effects that give cards to your opponent or put cards into play under their control, which would also trigger your resource ready. And there doesn't seem to be any engage this contender to activate it, so that suggests to me it's not a once per turn thing. So in theory, if someone manages to find an interaction that allows you to repeatedly give cards to your opponent, you can end up with some quite ridiculous resource resetting loops, in my opinion. Maybe some kind of damage combo, but that sort of stuff is for the pro deck builders, not me. I am said it before, I've said it again, I'm not a pro deck builder. 20 health or lower, you unlock your second ability. You awaken. And it reads as follows: while an opponent controls more clash cards than you, this card gains +0/+1. So you will become a 1/1 after 20 if you have less clash cards than your opponent. Very nice. And then we also have the counter attack, which is engage. The attacking player controls more accessories than you. Target attacking card detaches all attached cards. If you have less cards in hand than that player, draw a card. Now, the second bit of that is obvious. If you've got less cards in your hand, you draw a card. Interesting bit for me is the attacking player controls more accessories than you. Target attacking card detaches all cards. So, depending on what happens with the illicit goods and what they do, who knows? An example I thought of, let's just say you have a clash card that is attacking you. It's got, I don't know, 4 illicit goods attached to it. It's a, where's my go-to card for this? There you go. Pestilence Plaguebringer. It sits on my desk and it's perfect. Pestilence Plaguebringer is a 3/3. So he's attacking you. He's got 4 illicit goods attached to him. Again, example that I've thought of. If illicit goods have something along the lines of when this card attaches, the card gets -1/1. I don't know. It seems like it's a plausible idea to me. I don't know. If you've got 4 on there and then you do this, instantly that pestilence is gone and you're drawing a card. Yeah, you lose your illicit goods. Might change things later on, but whatever. I mean, you can, in theory, set up some very nice counterplays with that, depending on how many illicit goods you've managed to dump on your opponent, how they attach, how they work. There's a lot of ifs in this video. I will say that right now. There's a lot of ifs, maybes, ifs, buts, maybes. As I thought in this, you can spend the early game loading your opponent up with these cards and then punish them later on. It's plausible. And like I say, of course, you've got that fewer cards in your hand. Draw a card. Everyone likes card draw. Overall, Pendervick seems to be pushing you towards this particular style of play. Give your opponents things they don't want, turn those gifts into resources, and then punish them for having them. And from what I know from the lore of Pendervick, it feels pretty appropriate. So yeah. Now, as per last video, we're going to have a look at a few of the cards that have been released that are obviously intended to work with this contender. So I think we've got 4 cards to go through this week. First up being Less is More. Now, 1 cost clash buff. You need to be a dragon or a progenitor to use it. You have got the options to choose one of 2. Target card you control gets +0/+X until the end of the clash, where X is the number of accessories the target opposing player controls. Or, defending player creates an illicit goods. Target attacking card you control gets +X/+0 until the end of the clash, where X is the number of accessories the defending player controls. If X is 2 or more, draw a card. That's the simple bit. The more and more I read this, it seems a bit of a... It seems like it's quite a confusing one, but I think in reality, if you just scratch beneath the surface, it seems quite simple. And I think there's a lot of potential for it. It all boils down to how many of these illicit goods cards we can smash onto our opponent and force feed him. If we can consistently flood their side with accessories, could be the illicit goods, they could be accessories, I don't know. But if they are accessories, relics, blah blah, you're throwing these, blah, blah, I'm pretty sure this is which way they're going to go. So you've got two options. You can defend or attack with this, basically, by the sounds of it. So on the defense side, you can boost your defense characteristic by the amount of, I'm just going to say illicit goods now, by the amount of illicit goods or accessories that the opponent controls. You're getting attacked by a 6, 5, I don't know. You've got your boy Pestilence, my boy Pestilence. He's a 3/3. You're getting hit by a 6/5, whatever. You've got your opposing player's already got 4 illicit goods. Boom, you play this. The Pestilence becomes a 3/7. Quick maths, maybe not. And on the other side of it, defending player creates an illicit goods target attacking card you control, gets +X attack, where X is the number of accessories the defending player controls. So again, if you've, same example, you're attacking with your Pestilence, 3/3. That player on the other, you're swinging into a 6/5. You need the extra 3. That opposing player has 4 accessories. You boost your attack up by 4. Yes, you lose your Pestilence card, but you've got rid of that big threat. So, yeah, I think there could be some nice plays available with this. Plus, the card draw is always lovely, lovely, lovely. Right, moving on. We like looking at epics. Brief, quick look. Marcus, the right-hand man. There he is. It's a 4-cost green clash card requiring 3 green resources, or pips, to play. It again has the dragon progenitor affiliations, just like Mr. Pendervick himself, and a very respectable 4 attack, 5 defense. Now, upon entry, each player is going to create an illicit goods, which immediately gives you a good starting point for the rest of those abilities that are just going to come down. While you control fewer accessories than your opponent, Marcus gains close combat, which, as we know, allows you to attack non-engaged clash cards. And I think close combat is quite overlooked in this game. Being able to be attacked something that hasn't engaged could give Marcus some pretty decent utility, especially if you're already got a good amount of these illicit goods onto the board and you're probably going to be at a low level of them. So straight away, I mean, 4 attack, 5 defense isn't to be sniffed at. But that's not all. Marcus also has a trigger victory. Upon winning a clash, your victory, you can send a non-trap accessory, I don't know, maybe an illicit goods, to oblivion, and then deal 2 damage to that person, that illicit goods controller. So your opponent's got, he's got 6 illicit goods, you've got 1. You've instantly got close combat. You go in to attack something, boom, you snipe out something that's unready, chump blocker, you kill it, you do 2 damage to its controller. You do that, you then damage 2 to the contender of your opponent. And because this isn't exclusive, you could have, in theory, 4 of these Marcuses on the board, which would all have the same thing. I don't know, your opposing player has 4 chump blockers that you're not really, or something that's worrying you, but it's enough to be killed by this. You've got the close combat. He hasn't, so it doesn't matter that they haven't been engaged. Bam, 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 bam. 4 bams. 4 bams. I can't count. That's 8 damage. Boom, straight into the contender. Plus, blockers are gone, utility's gone, whatever those cards were for. And then you can also, well, you can't also, but there might be a way to re-ready Marcus. I don't know. I'm spitballing here, and I'm thinking outside the box. I'm not. I'm just thinking if you can re-ready those cards, boom, you are. I mean, and then you can just re-smash them in. I don't know. I think the concept and the ideas there can get pretty ridiculous. Yeah. So we're going to move on. Now this will be a quick one because we're not going. I haven't read a massive amount about this one, and it doesn't seem like something I'd use. But yeah, we're looking at high tech binos or binoculars. It's exclusive. It's a 1-cost green relic. It's exclusive, as I say, so you can only have one in play. You can either basically play a clash card or non-trap accessory for 1 green resource less. So I mean, that's pretty obvious. It's a nice cost reduction tool that's going to fit into the strategy. Boom. The artwork's pretty sick. Again, straight away, all the artwork for this set that I've seen is just awesome. This is obviously some kind of thermal vision of someone watching the fight that happens. We're not spoiling anything, but yeah, it's quite obviously a dragon. Dragons are cool. Quick gloss over that one. Okay, we are gonna move on to Blaster Shot. Now, this one's interesting, I think. So you've got a green X cost quick action. Now, it's a counter attack that targets X amount of contraband relic tokens controlled by the attacking player. You send those relics to Oblivion and then deal 2 damage to their controller for each one. Again, this could be like an end game. Boom. If you've got enough resources and you've got enough relics on the board, you could do 20 odd damage with this if you wanted. That's quite an unlikely scenario, but in theory, it's possible, I guess. And it's that same theme. You give your opponent something and then go, well, joke's on you, dude. I'm going to kill you because you've got my stuff. And finally, now, I think we have saved the best till last for this one. I really like this card. This is a black-green legendary. It's got the same affiliations as the other cards. Dragons, progenitors. It's 6 cost. Legendary. It's going to be expensive. Requires 3 green and 1 black pip. With a 3 attack, 3 defense stat line? What? That seems a bit poop for a 6 cost legendary card. It has irrefutable, which basically means it can't be stopped from entering the game. And unrivaled, meaning you can only have 1 copy in your deck. It doesn't sound too crazy, in all honesty.
But wait! There's more!
It also has a trigger enter ability. Now this is where things get hot tamales spicy. Ready a target opposing clash card or accessory and take control of it. Then they take control of this card. So basically you get to steal one of your opponent's good cards, and in exchange they get a mediocre 3-for-3 clash card. It is, of course, Percival Shifting Dimensions. So this artwork's cool as hell. Oh, there's another thing on there. Trigger defeat, your contender loses health. So when you eventually kill the card that you've given them for one of their better cards, they take another 3 health from their contender. So this has got some really interesting plays because there's no specifications of what it is. Imagine your opponent's just got, I don't know, a Second Horseman. Second Horseman's a big boy. He's a pretty damn good clash card. People use Second Horseman straight away, pretty much, because why wouldn't you? It's awesome. Oh, here you go. Boom. I've just taken your Second Horseman and given you this dude with a beard. I swapped beard, awesome war beard guy for shady beard cape man. So you've swapped out what is essentially one of the best cards in the game for another really good card, but not for the reasons that war is a really good card. And I'm rambling here, but I just think the ideas and the possibilities with this are awesome. You've already got that strategy going about giving your opponent cards, manipulating who controls what, getting value whenever cards change hands. Shifting dimensions takes that idea and makes it literal. Not only that, when you kill it, it kills, it nukes his own, he suicide bombs. He suicide bombs. I'll take your really good card. Here's my rubbish one. Oh, and he's going to blow up and take some more stuff. That's if I... Of course, this is all my thoughts, my interpretations of how these cards are working. So if I have got things wrong and you know I've got them wrong, or you've got a different interpretation of the way this should work, please do just comment. I think this deck is is really thematic. The ideas behind it sound really cool. There's some really nasty ways of manipulating the board, which I really like in TCGs, and there's just a lot of benefits to be swapping and stuff. But if I'm missing something or you've noticed something that I haven't, let me know, because I think this contender is shaping up to be extremely spicy. And that is it for another contender talk. And as usual, I'm going to thank you ever so much for watching. And if you've made it this far, kudos to you. Have an illicit goods. If you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know what you think about Mr. Pendervick and the potential for this deck. Comments down below. As always, happy clashing, and I will see you in the next one.